Gimbals. Everyone wants one, but nobody knows which ones to buy. The cost of entry can be super steep, and they aren't easy to use until now. The Insta360 Flow changes all of that. Let's get into it. My name is Patrick, and I help regular creators like you and me succeed online every single day. And let's get into the Insta360 Flow and decide whether or not it's right for you. It is, by the way. Now, this isn't a sponsored video. I bought the Insta360 Flow with my own American dollars, but everything I'm going to share with you will be linked below. And if you're considering buying the Insta360 Flow, use my link and go ahead and subscribe while you're down there. Come on, guys. When you're buying the Flow, you can opt in for the standalone package and you'll get the essential components: the gimbal, the magnetic phone clamp, grip cover, charging cable, and a soft pouch for safe storage. But you might want to consider the creator kit, which includes an LED spotlight, charging cables for both Android and iPhone, and a bigger carry bag. And for those who really value like tripod stability,
You are one pathetic loser.
There's a pro tripod kit which pairs the gimbal with an all-purpose tripod. The detail in the packaging and the inclusion of these accessories make the Insta360 Flow really stand out in this space. Right out of the box, you're able just to use the Insta360 Flow. It's just not difficult, as opposed to other gimbals that, yes, are more high end, but they require way more setup. You're not gonna need to go out and get tons of additional accessories with the Flow. It comes ready to go. And like I said, setting it up is a breeze, right? Of course it isn't. Physically setting up the Insta360 Flow, total breeze. But my only gripe is with connecting it to the Insta360 app. It's trying to connect to the device. Now, for some reason, it does not have the device that I'm using here, but it still should be the correct one. It had me pulling my non-existent hair out. So first, you're gonna want to attach the clamp to your phone. It's spring-loaded, super easy. I did not have to align it perfectly. Playing with it on the phone to get it in the right spot was really easy. And then you align the notches on the clamp and the gimbal, and it just magnetizes like that. Now, in case you're wondering, I have a big phone.
How's bragging camp going?
I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max with a case, and it worked fine. So the motors inside of this guy make it easy to use with almost any device. And once you've mastered or made sense of the hardware, it's time to connect the Insta360 Flow in the Insta360 app. It took me several tries to get this thing connected to my app. And it's not the first or last time I've had issues with Insta360's apps. Love their hardware. Apps have not been a phenomenal experience, but once I got it connected, I was good to go. This isn't a deal breaker for me. Apps can be updated, and as more issues arise, I'm confident that, this isn't a small company. This is a bigger company that's going to take care of people and their users, hopefully. Back to some of the hardware. The gimbal handle extends, and there are small feet that come out of the base, creating a tripod, though it's pretty flimsy in certain situations. So fortunately, I'm gonna push these legs back in. There is a 1/4 inch tripod mount on the bottom
Hilarious.
of these feet, which comes in handy if you'd like to use it with like an all-purpose tripod of any kind for stability. It's tapeability. And this is also good news because this unit fell from right here. It's probably 4 feet off the ground, and these flimsy legs, one of them just popped right off. This was a great idea, having the feet here. Just remember, you should be more careful than me so that you don't make the same mistake that I did.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
Now, when you're finally ready to film, you're going to find various capture modes that the Flow offers. Each mode is thoughtfully designed to create different shooting scenarios depending on what situation you're in. And this is it allows a lot of people to kind of unleash some new creativity because you're getting shots that you may have never been able to get before that are way smoother than you could ever make them. So here's some suggestions. For newcomers, auto mode is the way to go. It adjusts sensitivity based on your movements, making it's just incredibly user-friendly. Then there's follow mode, and it's shown by the F LED, which is like auto mode, but slightly more sensitive. Both of these modes ensure that tilt and pan follow the handle movements, while the roll axis remains locked. If you're a fan of super smooth panning shots, pan follow is your best friend, PF. In this mode, tilt and roll are locked, ensuring that your horizon stays level. Very, very cinematic. And lastly, there's FPV, or first person view. Now, this gives the gimbal the freedom to follow all your movements, including rotational ones. But wait, there's more. I don't know why, but the Flow also has 2 hidden additional modes. By holding the trigger button, you'll activate lock mode, where all 3 axes, all 3 mover things, capability, they're locked. They're just all locked. It's ideal for keeping your subject censored. This is ideal for keeping your subject centered even when you move the gimbal. A quick press and release followed by holding the trigger button puts you in active plus mode, which results in significantly faster responses from the gimbal to your movements. So quick press and release followed by holding puts it in that active plus mode. Now, remember, switching between these modes is as simple as sliding your fingers in both directions. But one thing to keep in mind about these modes is that the more powerful the mode you're using, the more battery power is going to be required, which obviously drains the battery quicker. But play with all of them and see which one you like the best. There's also manual controls on this joystick here for pan and tilt. And in the first person view mode, the FPV mode, the zoom wheel surrounding that touch panel, it actually controls the roll. But keep in mind that in the other modes, this zoom wheel will enable zooming in and out with a cool feature that lets you quickly switch to the optical lens of your smartphone for enhanced image quality. So not only are you controlling physically where your phone is moving, but you're actually able to control which cameras you're using, which is a step above many of the other consumer or prosumer level gimbals that I've seen. Sometimes it's the most simple things that blow me away, but we're able to switch between modes really easily. But I love how you can actually switch between camera functionality easily. Now, we're using a gimbal, and this is the star of the show of this video, but what it actually does with your smartphone is pretty incredible. The switch button on the Flow has different press settings. So you press once to switch between the front and rear cameras, press twice, click, click, to switch between portrait and landscape. I've already got it in landscape mode. If I double tap there, of course, it will go to portrait mode. Pretty amazing. I love that. But what sets the Flow apart truly from other gimbals is its exceptional tracking capabilities. It can identify and track faces or objects even when they temporarily vanish from view and then reappear. This feature is a game changer for keeping your subjects perfectly framed, whether you're capturing yourself or something or someone else. And don't worry, this tracking feature seamlessly works with both rear and front-facing cameras. Watch what's happening. As I move around the room, do you see that the Flow is just following me? Isn't this great? So that tracking feature, it really is above bar.
Wow.
Now get this, you can also control the gimbal using hand gestures. If this is a fantastic feature that proves its worth when a remote or reaching your joystick just isn't readily available, which happens all the time when we're filming, right? Just raise your hand and the gimbal initiates tracking and recording. When you're done, you raise your hand again and it stops recording. I do this. Great. Wow, that's how it works. And here's the kicker. If you activate live mode in the Insta360 app, if you can get it to connect, you can utilize tracking in third-party apps like Zoom, making Flow an incredibly versatile tool for video conferencing and other applications. What about the footage you're creating? When you use all the bells and whistles, what can you create? Well, the Flow delivers smooth results that elevate your videos to a professional level. However, bear in mind that the gimbal doesn't compensate for up and down movement. So this means if you're walking or running,
I believe it's jogging or yogging. It might be a soft J.
or moving a lot, there's going to be probably more motion than you want in your shots. But where the Flow truly excels is, like we said, in panning and tracking, thanks to its exceptional tracking capabilities, which are comparable to those found, in my opinion, in higher end cameras. It does better than it should. Here's the deal. Do I think that the Insta360 Flow is gonna meet the needs of every professional filmmaker? Probably not. But I still think that this is something that should be in every content creator's bag. I mean, all I do is pull off this magnetic clip, bend this down, pull this up, and those pan and tracking features, the one button switch between front and back camera, the one button switch between landscape and portrait modes, the amazing features and modes that are built into this product all fit in this tiny little package. I think that this is a no-brainer for every content creator out there. But what do you think? I mean, you should let me know in the comments, and don't leave without watching this video. If you like this video, you wanna watch that one.